Hi, welcome to Your Business, Your Rules. I'm Kat LeBlanc. This is the podcast for people who want to start and grow an online location-independent business so they can live a life of freedom and choice on their own terms. Welcome to episode 36, Choosing a Niche, Why Narrowing It Down Opens Up Your Options. Are you finding it hard to choose a niche? Many people thinking of starting a business do find it difficult to decide on something to specialize in, and this can be a sticking point for years. They hear they should choose a niche, but when it comes to the moment of actually having to pick just one, they have a really hard time. Why is that? The benefits of having a niche are massive. If you are marketing to a specific group of people, you can really focus in and create products and services that address their needs. Those people will much prefer something made with them in mind to a more generic product. In a practical sense, it's extremely difficult to grow a community if people are receiving mixed messages from you. You can't send information on growing a business one week and then talk about relationships the next. Essentially, what this means is if your marketing material appeals to everyone, then it appeals to no one. Which means if you go too generic, your efforts on blogging are wasted and the money you spend on ads yields no returns. So you really want to be narrowing down the group of people you serve or the problem you solve. The trade is this: instead of having an almost minuscule chance of someone from a large group of people buying from you, you have a much better chance of someone from a smaller group of people buying. And the second option adds up to a lot more buyers. Plus, if you are a specialist, you can charge more for what you do, and who doesn't like earning more? So, in theory, this sounds great, right? So, where's the problem? The problem is choosing a niche feels like narrowing down your options. And narrowing down your options feels counterintuitive, especially if you are the creative, freedom-loving type, which I'm guessing you are, which is the reason why you're here. No one wants to miss out, and no one wants to get boxed in. So there is a fundamental mental block that people experience around choosing a niche. You start asking yourself, but why would I turn people away who might want my product, or why can't I help more people? I'd like to show how through niching in my life, I've been able to give myself more options, and then I'll show you why this is. Before I had a business, I worked in IT. And in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of choice over what area I worked in. I just had to start with what I was given. But as soon as I had a job, I started plotting, right? Yes, plotting. The last thing I wanted was for someone else to have control over my destiny and dictate how I ran my life. So I was looking for ways to give myself options. I looked at the skills I was learning at work and began searching on jobserve.com, which was the site at the time, to work out how I could move into a field that was specialized enough to make it easy to get high-paid work, but open enough so that I had a choice over which cities and countries I could work in. At the time, I had no idea about niches. I was thinking of it in terms of specialization. I was looking to get in a position where I could be free in terms of location, be in a position of authority, and be paid well. I managed to get myself into a niche in the IT market, and as the market changed, I continued to adjust so that I was always in a place where I was a specialist and in demand, but in a relatively small field. Through niching in this way, I was able to get work in a new city at a company I wanted to go to, even though they had no vacant positions. I was able to quit my job and go traveling for 3 months without worrying about getting work when I got back. I was able to pick up a lucrative contract role after that trip where I could earn enough money to fly across the Atlantic to see the man I met traveling. Because of it, I was able to get a visa to emigrate in Australia where I now live, and I was able to get a job here before I even got on the plane. So if I had stayed a generalist, I wouldn't have been able to do any of the above with the possible exception of emigrating. So in my life, niching it down has been anything but narrowing it down. Specializing has been the key to living life on my terms. In business, the story is not dissimilar. My business does a lot of work around finding a person their best business idea and getting them started in business. This is an area that's covered by other coaches, but very few specialize in it. This niche has led to me having my first client before I even expected it and having to pull an all-weekender to get my materials ready in time. Being approached by other industry experts to partner with them within a short period of time in my business, and being able to grow my following much quicker than the industry average. So narrowing it down on the surface does seem counterintuitive. So why does it work so well? It works because you're making yourself an exact fit for a big enough group of people to make the numbers add up. When faced with choosing you or choosing a generalist, it's a no-brainer decision. If you needed heart surgery, you aren't going to your GP to get it, right? You want the big guns, the ones that know what they're doing in that area. But at this point, I know what you're thinking though, so let's take a different example. Let's say you're a life coach and you're genuinely able to help someone start a new career, save his or her marriage, or solve any other problem they might have. What then? Choosing to be a life coach with no niche, and let me just add here, there are many ways of niching, means you're choosing to stay small. It means choosing to stay small because your marketing will be too generic to take hold. You can't run ads because there'll be no return on investment, and any other marketing efforts will be too generic to take hold. So you're going to be running a word of mouth business. If that's what you want, that's okay. But remember, choosing a niche doesn't mean that you're stating to the world this is the only problem that you can solve. It means it's the problem you're choosing to solve right now in order to get a foothold in the marketplace to start your business and help other people move forward. Choosing one specialty gives you specialty status, which means you can charge more. If other clients come to you and want to work with you, you're not turning them away, at least in the beginning stages of business, unless you want to. So if you're feeling constrained around choosing a niche, remember these two important points. 1, you can always branch out later, and 2, most likely choosing a niche is going to be opening doors for you rather than closing them. I hope that really helped you move forward. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Thanks for listening to Your Business, Your Rules. I'm Kat LeBlanc. If you like this show, I'd love you to subscribe, share, and leave a review on iTunes. And if you'd like to continue the conversation, head over to my website at katleblanc.com. Until next time.